what was your area of research?
I was at the Institute of African Studies, and I looked at the relationship between traditional and local authorities in the management of natural resources. And I had a case study of beaches in Accra.
Can you elaborate on the subject area?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It was basically looking at the commoditization of beaches. And so we all know that aside the beauty or the recreational value of beaches or natural resources, there's the commercial aspect of it. So basically looking at the challenges in managing natural resources, whether it's traditional authorities or the conflicts that emanates from the management of natural resources, such as the beaches.
When you say natural resources such as the beaches, management of natural resources such as, so your research, what did you eventually uncover in terms of the natural resources that you're referring to? I just want you to situate it in a manner that the ordinary person would appreciate exactly what you're doing. So
it's a qualitative study that sought the perceptions of people in terms of how beaches are managed, and then also the commercial value of it, the challenges that comes out of it, and then the possible balance in terms of how the beaches can be managed to elicit the best out of it in terms of value to the nation. And then the people who are the custodians of it, how the various stakeholders and players in the field can collaborate.
Have you shared the outcome of your work with the tourism authority or the various assemblies to enable them sift out some best practices as a guide?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I've not had opportunity yet. I clearly recollect that I was in Parliament when I had to prepare for my Viva. So that was quite a tense moment for me. And afterwards, it's been community engagement and parliamentary work. So I'm yet to sit and then properly look at it. But I have plans of working with my supervisor to ensure that some quality work is done so that the lessons and publications can go to the viewers. I'll look at the tourism minister, sit with her, look at some of the lessons and then how best she can inculcate them and we can learn from it.
When you say you say with your supervisor to ensure that some quality work is done, what exactly do you mean?
We have plans of doing some joint publications, and so I'll lean on that.
Thank you. Please, let's go to page 2 of your CV. On page 2, you have primary school, Teshin Estate Preparatory School, 1981 to 1986. Then we have ordinary level certificate, Nungwa Secondary School, Accra, September 1988 to June 1993. I presume you did a common entrance?
No, sir.
Okay. So explain to us, from primary school, you have a gap of 2 years. So the 86, 87. So there's no school within that 2 years. Then you come to 1988 to 93, which is 5 years, Form 1 to Form 5. So can you explain to us what you did, what schooling you had between that period that your records do not reflect same, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Within that 2-year period, there was the new system, which is the JHS. And so having an uncle who is a teacher, he was also an advisor to my father. And so they looked at the benefits of joining the new system. What is missing is that I went to try the new system. And then my uncle moved on to a secondary school called Presby Secondary School. And my dad felt there was, I was too comfortable there. So I had to try first year of secondary school at Presby Commercial. And so I went to first year. I didn't write the common entrance. I went to secondary school first year at where we call Preseko. I did 2 terms there before going to Nungwa Secondary School.
So you went to Nungwa Secondary School without common entrance, in other words?
I went to Nungwa Secondary School with a certificate from Presby Secondary School.
What certificate?
I did my first year at Presby Secondary School.
First year of JHS or JSS, you mean?
First year of GC.
Oh, very well. So you mean you had a transfer?
Say.
Okay. So that is what is missing. That is creating that 2-year gap.
Yes, sir.
Very well. But then if you had done a first year already and you did a transfer, that suggests that you go to Form 2. Or do you repeated year 1 again?
Yes, I did. I actually did 2 terms for the first year. I joined them in second year. And so when I got to Nungwa Secondary School, I had a...
Yeah.
Yes.
Very well. So you mean going to Preseko, you entered Preseko year 1 with a common entrance?
Entered Preseko from class 6. I entered Preseko.
They were doing the JSS, the new system, you mean?
Preseko was not doing the new system. Preseko was doing the old system.
That is the O level?
Yes.
So you entered Preseko without writing the common.
When I was about going to JHS, because I tried the new system, if you remember, I narrated how I tried the new system. And then when my uncle moved on, so I moved with him. So I didn't write the common entrance or the JHS.
Very well. I'll leave that. You've also indicated you did MA, Human Resource Development,
Yes,
University
sir.
of Cape Coast, from September 2003 to March 2005.
Yes, sir.
Is there any part of it that you would want to take the leave of chairman to amend those records there before I proceed with some questions?
It was a sandwich program.
When did you graduate?
The MA was from 2000 and I graduated in 2005. In fact, it was a 1-year course, and so it was supposed to be 2004.
Honorable Member, so would you want to take the leave of Mr. Chair to amend your records, please?
Having stated it was 2004, leave is accordingly granted.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Now, you indicated earlier that as General Secretary of NALAD, it was a full-time employment. If you come to page 3, where, excuse me, not page 3, sorry, you talked about your leadership, page 8. So let's reconcile page 3 and page 8. You also indicate there that you were page 9, rather, go back to page 9. Let's start with page 9. So let's reconcile page 3 and page 9. So second vice president and general secretary. The general secretary bit, you say full-time employment. That has come under your employment history. And then when you come to the second vice president, that is under membership / leadership. So what do you have to say to both?
The second vice bit is an elected position. And so I contested that before becoming the general secretary.
Okay. Is there anything you would want to amend?
Page 9.
Well, on both pages, I mean, look carefully. We would skip that, and maybe later you can take chair's leave to check. I just don't want to.
Page 9?
Yeah, 9 and 3. Okay, so just check that and we'll come back to it. Anyway, my colleague Ahmed Shaib Jerry had referred to President Trump's inaugural address, where he stated that the policy of the United States under his administration will change in a definition of gender, that a man will be a man, a woman, the very natural state. Do you share in this opinion?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Like I earlier said, it's in line with our constitution, and so I share in that.
Very well. You were in Parliament between 2021 and 2025 January 6th. That is the 8th Parliament. You were.
Yes, sir.
That's a fact. Now, you are aware that some of our colleagues took the view that Ghana would have to legislate on these LGBT issues to make clear to the world our position on this matter.
Yes, sir.
And you're also aware that in view of that, the law was passed.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Right. So let me pick your thoughts on this, because you are going into a ministry that is likely to take up this matter. His Excellency, the President of the Republic, has shared some views. One of it was to the effect that our value system in our schools has broken down. Our value system has broken down. And should we tackle our value system and reintroduce our value system in our schools, and the children are able to pick these up, perhaps there will be no need at all to even legislate on it. What is your view on this?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think I had indicated to our colleague that for the legal aspect, where I think because you referred to that one, you went into asking whether it would be without the law. I said I leave that, or if the law had to, go through the process all over again. I left that to the legal brains. But as to teaching the children our family value system, I think there will be no Ghanaian here who wouldn't want that. All of us would want our kids to be identified with their Ghanaianness, if there's anything like that. So that if you teach, I said that was more sustainable, so that they identify who they are, and then they will take a decision when there's right or wrong. They will be able to know who they are, and that will define them.
So, are you for the value system being inculcated in our children, being incorporated in our curriculum, or you are for the law to enforce it?
I stick with what His Excellency said. I think he did not rule out the enactment of a law to back it. But I was saying that for sustainability, if it is imbibed in our children from a younger age, it will help.
Honorable, I know I'm staying a bit longer with you, but bear with me. The practice since 1997 has always been that members of the committee get 3 questions and have opportunity to get follow-up questions as it pleases the chair. The leader being the ranking by practice since 97 through to Honorable Che Mensa, Honorable Bagbin, Honorable Harun Idrisu, and now my time, is that leaders have unlimited, because we have a duty to ask broader questions and policy. So please don't be, well, I will end very soon, okay? I just want us to appreciate that. It's not that I'm saying too long with you, but it's the work I have to do. And I don't mean going personally or delaying you. I just need to understand some broader issues for your own good. Is that okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But leader, take into consideration she's a member of your committee. This very committee, she's a member.
Honorable, you were an assembly, you were a presiding member. Were you an elected presiding member, elected assembly member, or you were a government appointee?
I was a government appointee.
Your NDC manifesto. This women banking policy, what really is your understanding of it? What really is your understanding of women in banking?
Thank you very much. My understanding is not maybe, okay, let me rephrase it. My understanding of the women banking program is that women-owned banks, women beneficiaries of the same bank, which will be more flexible, introduced at the district level, and women will have more flexible terms, less interest or lower interest rates to be able to support their businesses. So economically bringing the women up And for me, I think for women like me, it is a laudable idea.
So let me have clarity, because the ordinary Ghanaian woman will be interested in this matter. So let's bring clarity to it. When we talk of a bank, the understanding in the ordinary meaning of it, the literalists would understand it to mean that a bank, properly so called, with a license from the Bank of Ghana, own and being in operation. So I would now, with the benefit of this background, ask you very specifics, because you were definitely part of the manifesto committee that put
An assumption.
Pardon?
An assumption.
Okay, so then let me put it direct. Were you part of the manifesto committee on gender?
No, please.
Were you at all involved in any gender issues relative to your manifesto?
Not really.
Have you read the gender policy of your party as contained in its manifesto? Have you?
Yes.
Have you read this aspect of this woman in banking?
Yes.
Very well. So now, since we are going to deal with Women's Bank, what is your understanding of what we read, the Women's Bank? What is your understanding?
It is capacitating women to be able to be economically independent and also build their businesses to reduce vulnerability from where I come from.
So it means that the state is going to be a promoter of...
Yes.
So the state would promote the registration of a company called Women's Bank, correct?
Mr. Chair, I had earlier stated that a part of it is also the Ministry of Finance work. And so some of the details will go into the ministry's work.
So the Ghanaian woman should expect that a bank will be established, licensed by the Bank of Ghana, with branches in all districts as you indicated.
Yes, a bank will be established.
Should they expect that bank to be established this year, next year, or when?
I think this will be clearer when the Minister of Finance comes to read the budget. I'm expecting that it will be captured.
Now, honorable member, let's me ask you this. You are the member of parliament for Krowo, that is Teshi. Krowo is Nungwa, and then Lejokuku is
Teshi.
Right. Do you live in Teshi or you live in Nungwa?
I live in Nungwa.
You live in Nungwa. Where you live in Nungwa, is it your personal property or is it rented property?
Personal property.
When you say personal property, do you mean you bought the land and built on it, or you bought the house, the property?
Bought the land and built on it.
The land you bought, did you buy it from the chiefs or a third-party developer?
I bought it from a chief.
Chairman, I shall bring my questions to an end on this point and thank my respected colleague for her patience and so far the commitment so far. I shall count on your experience thus far in managing the ministry. All other matters shall be pursued on the floor of the House. I wish you well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.